Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's live stream. Low Roller, Hamza, nice to see you here. Thanks for joining in. Looks like we've got a few people coming in still. So welcome to everybody. If this is your first time on one of these streams here on Bitcoin Tips, just as a quick reminder, if you have any questions, things you want to hear about, please feel free to leave a live chat. Happy to talk about anything that's been going on in cryptocurrency. If there's something you want to hear my thoughts on, things along those lines, please feel free to let me know in the live chat. So, welcome. Yes, Low Roller, you said you saw Bitcoin hit 38,000 today. That is awesome. It's been a very active day in cryptocurrency, just overall. As you can see, we have pulled back just a little bit from that high earlier today, but still on Bitcoin specifically here, up just over 2% on the day, almost 6% on the week. So overall, still very, very good. Now, Ethereum, completely different story. We have seen Ethereum continue to go up. Super, super cool. We are back over $2,100 here, almost 11% up today, and 17.6% this week. Super cool. You can see it did have a little dip, but then just kept on going. So super cool. Overall, crypto is up about 3.32% today. Awesome to see. Like I said, we are getting geared up for the next Bitcoin rally, Bitcoin bull run, and looking at some of the historical data, what we are seeing now is very on trend for the next bull run. Just because we're seeing it go up today does not mean it's going to continue and hit new all-time highs in the near future. There most likely will be a little bit of a pullback. When that happens, how low it goes, who knows, but that is not something to be alarmed of. We've seen that in the past. So overall, super, super cool to see this activity as, across the board, not just with Bitcoin, but all these other altcoins as well. So very, very cool. Mike, you said would love to hear your thoughts on Bitcoin and possibly the Litecoin chart as well. So yeah, let's take a look here at TradingView. This is going to pull up the SPX chart here, but we'll take a look at Bitcoin to USD. And of course, just to make it a little easier, dark mode. I think the red and green come out a little bit better in dark mode here. So this is currently on the day chart. So each candle represents one day. But as you can see, October, the end of October, this is that pump we had that originally got it above all of this, past couple months, almost a year and a half. This little, dip happened back in early 2022. So nice to see us break through that. We kind of traded sideways a little bit, slowly going up more or less. And then today, of course, we did come all the way up to, like Rollercoin said, Low Roller said right about 38,000. So we're getting close to this next level here, which is right around $40,000. Do I think we'll cross through that? I think there's a good possibility. But, if we don't see it cross through that in the next, day or so, I think we may see one of those pullbacks, maybe down to the, 34 to 35,000 range. And who knows? This, little bit of a slump compared to earlier today by about $2,000. This could be the pullback for this little bit of a jump. It's hard to say, but hopefully we continue to see it go up. I think it's pretty safe to say we broke through this $30,000, $31,000, $32,000 ceiling here. I'd be pretty surprised to see it drop back down without, a major event going on, whatever that might be. But, it's always possible. I would expect to see 32,000 roughly being a support. We might pull back to around 32, 33,000 at some point. But for right now, things are looking good. We see TradingView's got a little bit more of a buy signal. CoinMarketCap here has 77 on the Fear to Greed index. Overall, I think we're seeing a lot of positivity in crypto. And with Ethereum being the second number 2 coin on CoinMarketCap, seeing it not really have this pullback that we're seeing in Bitcoin and a lot of these other coins, I think that's good. Ethereum's very powerful. It's very widely used, and it's currently sitting at 18.2% dominance. Second place to, of course, Bitcoin, but I think we're seeing a lot of money come into Ethereum, which if that continues, we'll start to see a lot of money come into Bitcoin as well. Just looking at some other chats here, and then we can take a look at the Litecoin chart as well. But Low Roller said Dogelon Mars is pumping up today too. Let's take a look at that. And I've been thinking about it since the last time we were able to do a stream here, and you were talking about Dogelon Mars. I think I will try and set up a GPU or two on mining for that. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I think we talked about it, looked at it, and I've been thinking about it the last week or so. I think I would like to try and collect some of these, so be on the lookout for some Dogelon mining videos in the future. And Low Roller, you said, I told you mining Dogelon Mars in the last stream. Yeah, exactly. So like I said, I did a little bit more research just offline. I think it is one of those ones that probably wouldn't hurt to mine a little bit of it, have some on hand, and who knows, maybe I'm a little too late here, missed out on the almost 13% day they had here. But yeah, so like I said, keep an eye out for mining videos around this using the unminable pool. And then Hamza, you said you think we'll see a rally in Dogecoin last time it shoots up to 70 cents. Ultimately, I would say yes. Will it get up that high again? I don't know. And the reason for that is there was a lot of other stuff going on with Dogecoin at the time. It was very trendy on TikTok and YouTube and, all the social medias. People were getting into that. And I'm not saying that can't happen again. But I would hope to see Dogecoin maybe around 50 cents again. Now, of course, I do still have the Dogecoin that I had during the last run. Of course, I'd like to see it hit 70 cents again, even $1. But, just looking at what was going on in that time frame with Dogecoin, Elon Musk, very influential, was, promoting it quite a bit. Whether it was real or just memes, who knows? But either way, he had a big influence on it. And unless he gets on, Dogecoin tweeting about it, stuff like that, I don't know that it will have as much success as we saw previously. But that's just my thoughts at the moment. Of course, I would love to see it continue on that upward trajectory to, new all-time highs. But, we'll have to wait and see, as with most of these. But let's take a quick look, circling back to Mike's comment there at Litecoin. I was hoping to see just Litecoin USD. There it is. Coinbase, that works. So Litecoin, another one of these coins. I think it is, to me at least, one of the original coins. I still have, some Litecoin, nothing crazy, but I think this is a good one to just have if you've got some from faucets or whatever, wherever you get it from. It's good to have on hand, but, I know there's been some new miners that have come out for like ASIC, of course, from Bitmain, for mining script, and it's become a little bit more popular, but, as you can see, we're kind of right around this resistance level of $70 to $75. It looks like we may have broken through it a little bit here, but, it's done that before. So, if we see this, pattern here, let me see if there's a way to, if I can remember how to draw on the, yeah, so you can see we broke through this 72-ish range and went up like that. Oops, apparently you have to click again. We're right around that same level, so, we might see this same line happen again here, bringing us back up. Something that looks like that. It may go higher, it might not do that at all, but I don't think it's completely out of the possibility to see Litecoin hit, $100, $120 again, just based off the way that looks. And then, of course, as we continue getting through into the bull market, we might start to see some of these larger spikes again where it's getting up into the $400 range. But for now, it looks like we've got a pretty sturdy floor right around $58. It looks like it tried to test that again here the end of October and then bounced off and kept going back up. And then the next lower floor looks like it would be right around the $47 mark. And then, oops, actually looks like the charts are combining together here. So yeah, $40 maybe on the low end, but just based off where we're at here, I would think that paired with the historical evidence on the chart from earlier this year, as well as everything going on in crypto, we might see this one head back up in the right direction for a little while before possibly having a pullback as well, like we discussed with some of the other coins that we looked at. But hopefully that was helpful. And to anybody new here, welcome to the stream. If there's anything you'd like to hear about, please feel free to leave a live comment. Please like and share the stream so we can get some new people in here on the stream as well as into the Bitcoin Tips community. With the bull run coming, it's very important we get as many people in as possible to really help bring the community together. The more people in cryptocurrency buying, trading, investing, whatever it might be, the higher the prices go up and the faster that happens. So super cool. But thanks for doing that and kind of getting back into the chats here. Low Roller, you said Dogecoin was popular before Elon Musk. Yeah, that is true. He was just one factor that I think really played into it. Dogecoin's been around a long time. I want to say 2013 is when it was formed. I'm just guessing. I think that's what I've heard in the past. So it's 10 years old at least. Dogecoin release date. That should give us something. Yeah, so 2013, December 2013. So it's, going to be 10 years old in December. Who knows? 10 years old, that could even be something that we see some promotion around. Hey, Dogecoin, it was a joke. It was made, for fun. We wanted to see if we could do it, and here we are 10 years later. That is something very real that I could see happening with Dogecoin. It's that kind of coin. It's got that kind of community. But yeah, like you said, Elon was just one factor in it. But I think he was a pretty big factor because of just the reach that he had and the following that he has, I think, as just a person. Whether you like him or not, I think, we all have to admit that he is very influential, has a lot of people that follow him on social media, and, he's done very well. I think that gives a certain amount of trust to a lot of people for someone like that. So, hopefully he continues to promote it. I think, it's not out of possibility, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. And Low Roller said Litecoin was mining Dogecoin anyway. So, yeah, I think, if we start to see some more script miners for Doge and Litecoin, we could start to see both of those coins pick back up as well. And Mike, you said, awesome, sounds great. Could you briefly talk about Kaspa and if you think it's a good investment? Yeah, so Kaspa coin, I have done a little bit of research. I did attempt to mine it a little bit with my GPU rigs before switching to Dynex. But it's got ASIC miners now, so you got to spend a little bit more up front. And while it would be nice to get an ASIC miner for Kaspa, I think it would be a relatively safe investment. From what I've read and seen so far, I think Kaspa is going to be a good one to hold on to. And the main reason for that is it's very popular in the mining community right now. And looking at the history of events that have taken place in the mining community for the last, year or two in crypto, there are a lot of people that got their start in crypto from mining, whether it was GPU or ASIC, if they jumped right into ASIC, but a lot of people GPU mined, and then of course Ethereum is no longer mineable. So now you have all these miners out there that either don't have anything to mine with their equipment, or they're just looking to stay in mining because they really like it. And Kaspa is a very popular coin to be mining right now. Like I said, it started GPU, people were GPU mining, and then of course we started to see ASIC miners come out. Kaspa miner. You know, I would like to get one of these. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. I know I was looking for like Crypto Miner Bros or something like that. Crypto Miner Bros, because they've got a pretty good store. Did I hit videos? Yes. Oh, there we go. Finding the right link. But yeah, as you can see, first of all, very expensive up front. You know, 6,000, or I'm sorry, 6,000 gigahashes. That's where I saw 6,000, but you know, $9,200 up front for this machine. Now, of course, you know, it's got great reviews. It runs really well, but it is an ASIC. You know, it runs 170 to 300 volts. So general North America, you're not going to be able to just plug this in. You're going to have 240, and it's going to use 3,400 watts. That's quite a bit of power. So you're going to have a dedicated circuit. You know, it's not out of the possibility to be able to mine at home with this thing, but it's loud and it requires special infrastructure. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be getting any of these anytime soon, but you know, a lot of people have gotten into mining Kaspa. And getting back to Mike's question of, you know, if it's a good coin to hold on to, I think it is. You know, you're seeing a lot of people switch to mining it, whether it's GPU or ASICs. You know, it's very popular right now from the mining standpoint, which means it's getting a lot of publicity overall for crypto, and you know, people are getting it. You're starting to see it come out on faucets, you know, things like that. And Mike, I see you asked about the KS0. Let me pull that one up, because KS0, so, and this is on Crypto Miner Bros right here, so I'm sure there could be a better price out there. I'm not saying this is exactly where you have to go to buy it, but let me do Kaspa mining calculation. So this is 200 gigahash. This is calculated in megahash, so we're going to do 200,000 megahashes at 100 watts. I assume that you're going to have a 1% pool fee. That's pretty standard, and we'll leave it at 10 cents electric cost for the KS0. So right now, you're getting about, let's see, 24 hours, about $4 a day. That's interesting because, let me make sure I entered that correctly. 100 watts and 200 gigahashes, which would be 200,000 megahashes. Yeah, that all looks correct. So I guess with the coin going up in value, because I had looked into the KS0, and to me it didn't seem all that profitable. And now, of course, $4, you know, $4.50 a day, depending on the price, is not bad. But you're also spending $739 on it. You know, whereas something like the you know, KS3M. Now, of course, you know, like we talked about, there's additional investments beyond the $9,200, but 6,000 gigahash. So that would be let me see. Let me just do 6,000. Trying to figure out how to do the math in that for mega hashes. But either way, there's quite a bit of difference. And I think, you know, the KS0 is a great option. Whoops, went the wrong way. For mining at home. Simply because it's small, it's quiet, and it doesn't require that additional infrastructure that the, you know, bigger ASICs do require. You know, it looks like this one is included. You know, include shipping to your door is included. You get the machine and the miner, or I'm sorry, and the power supply. you know, this could be one of those ones to look into. You know, I think when I looked last, I'm trying to remember why I didn't think it was a good miner to get, and I'm guessing it was because when I looked, this was 2-3 weeks ago. Mike, it was whenever you messaged me on Discord about it, so even then it was, you know, 3 cents. You know, I'm thinking that the big jump, you know, the price has, you know, tripled, at least almost doubled since I looked at it, so that's probably why. You know, Mike, I don't exactly, no, Discord's closed, but anyways, I don't remember exactly when you messaged me about COSPA, but that was when I originally looked into the KS0, and I think now that the price is a little higher, this is a more attractive miner. If you can get one, you know, of course, as cheap as possible. You know, I don't know exactly what the KS0 miner eBay, see if there's anything out there. Let's see, and then get an S9. KS0. My guess is they aren't. Okay, well, here you go. They're already $100 cheaper. So, yeah, if you were to look into getting one of these, definitely look around. Like I said, Crypto Miner Bros, they just have a good selection of ASICs out there, you know, the most up-to-date, so that's why I was looking for them specifically. And, of course, there are cheaper, you know, bigger machines. It's not just the $9,000 one, but, yeah, I know a lot of people are, you know, getting the KS0. I don't know why there's 2 here. One, so okay, so this is actually part of it because I thought it was 100 gigahashes. I had looked at this one and it was sold out. So that makes me wonder what. Okay, so these are the 100 gigahash. Well, this one's a 200. So again, you know, shopping around out there, you know, getting into it, I think they do have a good potential, and I think this is a great way to get COSPA. You're supporting the network, you're getting the coins that you're interested in, and like I said, I do believe that this is going to be a good one to hold on to. If you have some or have the ability to get some, I would continue to do that. And Mike, you said I don't want to be like a don't want it to be like a helium miner. When people finally got their HNT miners, the profitability went down to almost zero. I don't know if there's a risk like that. That's a really good point. My initial thought would be it's not going to be like that. It will in some sense, but I don't think it's going to be as drastic as the helium miner debacle was, because a lot of these places, Ice River, you know, you can get statistics on roughly how many machines they have sold and use that in correlation with the current mining power and estimate roughly, you know, add 2 weeks shipping, 3 weeks shipping, whatever it is, and say, okay, in 1 month from now, the difficulty is going to be, you know, roughly about here, and that's going to make your miner earn this much less coin. You know, I think that is a good way to look at it. I do know that on YouTube, Red Panda Mining, let me see, Red Panda Mining YouTube, I watch his videos from time to time, and he made a video. I didn't watch it, but I did read the title. So yeah, 4 weeks ago, he said he's mining less and less COSPA every day as, you know, these new miners were being ordered and, you know, delivered and turned on. There was one. So yeah, 3 months ago, the KS3Ls are online, a video he made. The KS3L, this 5,000 gigahash one, 5 terahashes. So that was 4 months ago, is that what I said? Yeah, about 3 months ago. So these miners are already out there. My thinking is you've already seen the huge uptick in difficulty because these are turned on from that initial, oh my goodness, a new miner's out, I'm gonna buy it. We've already seen that, and I think that's part of the reason why you're probably not going to see as big of a downgrade in profitability as you saw with Helium Miner. There was a video I was looking for here that was titled something along the lines of, a multi-million-dollar order was placed for Ice River Kaspa miners, and I was interested to see when that was posted. I don't think it was 4 months ago, but maybe it was. Well, I'm not seeing it immediately right now, but anyways, he posted a video. Like I said, I didn't watch it, but the title said, someone had placed a multi-million-dollar order for thousands, hundreds, or maybe thousands of the Kaspa ASICs. Where I was going with that was, there it is, $2.4 million KS3L order. So how much do we say this was? And again, I'm just going to use the Crypto Miner Bros. $18,000. So 2.4. Oh, I guess I should just do 2.4 million divided by 18,000. Round up a little bit. So 133 of these are, were ordered and most likely delivered and turned on by now, times 5 terahashes. So that's, 660 terahashes that are out there. Those are most likely all online. What did they say the lead time? I know they're out of stock. I guess they won't tell me what the lead time was. Say it was a month lead time. I mean, you could even be really generous and give them 2 months, but they should all be delivered and online by now. So I think we would have seen that big drop in profitability by now. That's just my thoughts, but of course, as more miners come online, the profitability will go down, or you'll just have to upgrade your miners like you do with Bitcoin. That's a very common thing we've seen with Bitcoin. You used to be able to mine Bitcoin on a CPU. Now, I mean, unless you're setting up a lottery machine, you'd be crazy to mine on a CPU. You're never going to make anything. And that's what's going to happen to KS0s at some point. Whereas I think Helium was set up more, it's the device. It's not that the device is not powerful enough and you just need to buy a bigger one. It's just there's so many people doing it that you can't do it. As technology advances, it will give you the ability to invest in new equipment and continue mining for a profit. That's kind of my thought behind Kaspa at the moment. It's a little different technology that I think will prevent that effect to a degree. So hopefully that makes sense. But Low Roller, you asked Mike how long you've been in crypto, and Low Roller, or Mike, you said Low Roller, I think I joined when he lost the old channel. Yeah. Okay, so that was, when did I was just looking at older videos. I think it was like January 21 or 22. I don't remember. Yeah, no, it would have been January of 2021. But yeah, okay, so, definitely in for a little while, but yeah, no, awesome. And then yeah, Mike, you said makes sense, look into the POW concept of Kaspa. Yeah, POW is a little bit different, in that there will be more advancements that allow it to stay profitable, whereas with, like I said, with Helium, you had the device, there wasn't, you could buy a bigger antenna, but it wasn't going to immediately affect you. Whereas, with POW equipment, as long as you have power and internet, it works. And then as new equipment comes out and waters down the pool, yours will, become obsolete. We had back on Bitcoin, the old Bitcoin tips, I did a number of videos on I think it was called the T9 Plus from Bitmain. That was an ASIC that I had, and it was a 10 terahash ASIC miner. At the time, it was making $15, $20 a day. Now it would probably be losing $15, $20 a day. So, it's just how things work in mining. And unfortunately, it is one of those things where if you aren't early on, you might not make your investment back. I wouldn't necessarily be concerned about the miners not making you coin, but they wouldn't necessarily make a profit. Whereas I think that's another big difference where, you can mine with these KS0s, but because there are ASICs that are so much more efficient while yes, they are more expensive and require additional infrastructure, it's one of those, I would be careful. I wouldn't go out and buy a ton of them. You know, if you wanted to buy one and got a good deal, awesome, go for it. But I would be careful in that, you know, one 100 or 200 gigahash machine compared to thousands of 5 terahash machines, you're going to lose out eventually. And that's why, you know, I was a little skeptical looking at the KS0s, because it's so low compared to what's out there. You know, I would say with the momentum that I've been seeing in COSPA from the mining communities that I've been reading about, I wouldn't be shocked if this was more or less obsolete by, you know, maybe early next year, March, if not earlier, as more people do continue to take delivery. But if you have one, it will still work. You will still be able to mine some. You just won't get as much as quickly. You know, it's not like helium where it's so watered down, there's very little out there. But and Mike, you said definitely you're skeptical about helium from the start. How high do you think Bitcoin will go this upcoming cycle? Yeah, you know, helium, it was an interesting project. You know, there were a lot of things that was, you know, a little sketchy about that project. And I think, you know, you see this here with, you know, the KS0 even, and other COSPA miners. They're available. You can get them. Of course, some are sold out here and there, but it's not impossible. Whereas with helium, you are paying a ridiculous amount of money for equipment that was doing essentially the same thing. And it was, you know, an 8-week, 12-week lead time. This, you might be waiting a month, but geez, that, you know, that's not uncommon in ASIC mining, you know, depending on where it's coming from. But either way, you know, I think it's a good coin. I think it's a great project. I just don't know that going with these cheaper miners is the best way to go. I guess that's my take on it for now. All right. So, Mike, you also asked how high do I think Bitcoin will go in the next cycle? That's a good question. I think, you know, coming back over to CoinMarketCap, I think it's just a little easier to look here than on the trading view. You know, we saw 65,000. Previously, the all-time high, you know, back in 2017-ish, 17, 18, 20,000, I think, was kind of the generally accepted all-time high. We, took that and multiplied it by, 4, 5, 4, 3? 3. You know, if we took 66,000 and multiplied it by 3, you know, we could see what's 66,000 times 3. You know, that's getting into the 200,000. 66 times 3 is, you know, getting close to 200,000. I think absolutely we will see $100,000 Bitcoin. I would say conservatively, I think the price that I've seen the most predictions for is around 125,000. I think that's very doable. 150, I think, is realistically where I think it would probably top out at. But of course, you know, following some of these other ones, you know, just looking at the math purely, and that's, you know, not always trustworthy to just multiply it by 3. You know, that's 198, very possible. I've also seen predictions of 250,000. You know, personally for me, I would be happy if we made it to 125. I think that's very doable. 150 would be great. That's kind of where I'm at. You know, of course, as we continue to get closer to the halving, seeing how things are working, you know, if we're starting to get a lot more news coverage, media coverage, YouTube's promoting it, TikTok's promoting it, all of that, I think we'll see more reaction, more money coming into crypto, and that'll really help it. So, yeah, for now, I would say 125 is, you know, very doable, very possible, and I'd be pretty happy if we made it to 150. But of course, sky's the limit. Anything above 200,000 would be pretty crazy. I think that's on the unlikely side, but not impossible. Low Roller, you said, I remember you used to use your hard drive to mine coins. That was a long time ago. Man, we did burst coin mining. Yeah, that would have been a long time ago, like 2017, 2016 maybe. Probably 2016. Burst coin mining, it was a fun time. It wasn't all that profitable in the end, but there's other ones out there. Chia, I think, is one of them that I looked at a couple years ago. That's newer. I don't do it anymore. I think it's an interesting concept, but I don't think it's very profitable. At the moment. If there's a new coin that comes out, the issue with that is it's very low barrier to entry, especially now. You can go out and buy 16 terabyte hard drives for relatively cheap, and that gets you quite a bit. That'd be like going out and buying a 4090 for mining, in the hard drive space. But yeah, it's always an interesting area to look into. But Mike, you said it's a fair point. I'm going to look into Kaspa. Son of a Text said he's waiting till March to buy a miner, so I might wait a bit too. Yeah, I think, the biggest issue with buying ASIC miners is you just don't know when Ice River or Bitmain or any of the other big ASIC companies, when they're going to release their next miner, because when they do release it, that's when you need to be worried. I think the initial profits that you calculate just using a calculator when they release these miners, expect to get about 75 to 50% of those as more miners come online. But what you really need to be worried about is when the next new miner comes out that's the same size as yours, uses the same power as yours, but gets double the hash rate. That's when you need to be worried. Because once those are delivered and come online, then you're going to start seeing a big drop in your profitability. So, that's not a bad strategy. But like I said, it would be nice to, get a miner. But I think right now, if you can, collect the coin, just hold on to it and see what happens, and then maybe get a miner down the road. And then you said 200,000 would be crazy. Those faucets would pay off and have some... and then some. Yeah, absolutely. It would be great. I think it's possible. It's in the realm of possibility, but closer to, I think it would be hopeful. But hey, would rather have all the coins from the faucets and see it get to 150 and then start dropping than have no coins and see it get to 250,000 or higher. So always using those faucets. That's the way to do it. And then Low Roller, you said take a look at Chia now. I think this is it. Let's take a look at their yeah, I think this is the right Chia. But yeah, that has yeah, nothing else comes up that looks familiar. So yeah, it's dropped off quite a bit. It's still kind of high, actually. $28 for a coin is not bad. Of course, comparing it to, a couple thousand a coin, of course that's not great. But for a lot of these coins that die off, $28 a coin is still pretty good. And it's got a decent volume too, 36 million. Nothing crazy, but like I said, I don't really do much with it anymore, anything at all. But if you guys are interested, definitely let me know. I can do a video on how to set up and start mining with Chia. Because like I said, it is a lower barrier to entry if you're interested in getting into physical at-home mining. Because I do know GPUs can be expensive. Whereas hard drives, you could take a risk and buy used hard drives. Wouldn't recommend, but they're out there. I'm sure there's some on Marketplace and eBay and whatnot. Mike, you said, Low Roller, what coins in addition to Chia and Elon do you recommend? Well, I'll let Low Roller answer that, but like I said earlier in the stream, I think after Low Roller's pitch for Dogelon Mars, I think I'll be, setting up a miner on that here in a little bit. Of course, mining with Hive OS. Low Roller, you said Dogelon Mars could be a sleeping coin. Yeah, Low Roller, I know you do like Ethereum Classic. I've actually seen a lot of communication about that one recently. Some people, talking about mining it and, collecting that one. And I think with where it's at, around $20 a coin, like 21.16 here, it would be nice to see it get back up to where it was, and I think it does hold a lot of potential. It's one of those ones that forked off Ethereum, but it's never really gone away, and I think that's important. We've seen a lot of those other ones like Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Cash. There were others. I mean, Bitcoin Cash is probably still around. Yeah, it's number 20 here. 240, but either way, I do agree. I think Ethereum Classic is one of those ones that could be out there. Mike, I just saw your comment there. I think you should make Dogelon Mars the official currency of Bitcoin tips. Yeah, we can definitely say that. I think, I don't know how many faucets out there. Dogelon Mars faucets. I'm sure there are some out there. 3 years ago, people were saying no, but that was 3 years ago, so I'm sure there are some out there. I don't know of any that are paying back coins specifically. But like I said, I would probably be mining it if I was going to get any, using unmineable. And Low Roller said ETC of a history chart, $200 in the last bull run. The Bitcoin fork could be risky, but huge upside. Yeah, I think with those forks, they are risky. There is potential with some of the coins, but it is what it is. It's a risk, and I think Ethereum Classic, like you said, in the last few bull runs, it's proved itself as a coin that has a lot of potential, and I think it's a good one to hold on to and collect now, because it is pretty popular. It's pretty easy to come by on faucets and things like that. And I think it has gained a little bit in popularity on a mining side since Ethereum is no longer mineable. Now, nowhere near what Ethereum was, but, it's another one of those coins like Cospo where miners needed somewhere to go, and it was one of the ones that was borderline profitable. So we could see that, go again. Mike, you said, I also wanted to ask whatever the Bitcoin amount you... hold on, I misread that. I also wanted to ask whatever the BTC mined amount you get in ECOS contract when you sign up, did you get to keep all of it or did you pay any fees? Oh, yeah, I saw your comment the other day. Let me pull up ECOS here and make sure I'm signed in. Let me get signed in on the other screen. We can take a look, because I think I know what your question is. I just want to make sure... Oh, I'm going to need my duo factor here. Grab the phone. ECOS. Okay. So here is ECOS, and for anybody who has not seen the ECOS videos, this is a great cloud mining site. It is one of the last ones, out there that I can pretty confidently say that this is a legitimate site. I've gotten paid from it multiple times. It's been around. I've been using it for multiple years. I highly recommend this one. I'll drop my referral link in the chat. It does help out if you do use it. I do appreciate it. If you do decide to make any purchases, it does help out the channel. But that is the site. Like I said, it's a great site, but to answer, Mike, your question here, I'll let this load and then we'll talk about it. So over here, of course, it says your daily mined today. Mine's about 20,000 Satoshis. Where it gets a little confusing, I'm not sure if this is exactly what goes into your balance. They don't break that down super close, but if we go into transactions, what you'll see, I think this is what's going to answer your question here. You have the contract revenue. So for contract 171,456, I earned 6,943 Satoshis, 6,940. But then it also subtracted for that same external key, contract key, whatever you want to call it, it subtracted 4,348. So roughly 2,000 Satoshis I earned, you know, in that area for that contract, and that was today. But as you can see, I have a number of contracts. So all of these, you know, each pair is one contract. Which if we jump back over to the main page here, you can see these are my contracts in here, you know, at the, you know, total gains, hash rate, and then of course active and days left. So, you know, hopefully that helps. Mike, let me know if that makes sense. This, I could add up. I guess the way to find out would be to add all of the positive transactions for today. You know, I guess we could do that real quick, I guess here on the stream. So we have 363 plus 20 plus 37, 23, 42, 73, 1693, 9, 8190, 29, 21, and 6943. So 20,314. So yes, that answers the question then, 20,314. So this mined today value is before the fees have been taken out. Because then again, if you went through and subtracted all of those fees being removed for each one, that's where your actual total is going to be. So hopefully that answers your question. I think that was kind of how I understood it there. So let me know if that makes sense. But a little earlier you said next bull run we'll see a new Safe Moon scam. Yeah, unfortunately that most likely will happen. You know, the scams do become more and more likely as people realize they can profit off of them, you know, with crypto going up in a bull run. So always be careful. You know, do your research. Don't just throw money at things that seem too good to be true, because usually they are. Low roller, no, I don't use. I haven't used CryptoTab in a while. You know, mainly just because I don't, you know, need it slowing my computer down when I'm, you know, mainly just a lot of the work I do now on this desktop is video stuff, so I don't want it to slow any of that down. So I don't usually use it, but could do an update video on it, talk about some of the new features, things like that. Yeah, so Mike, you said, I mean, whenever BTC amount it shows you're gonna get when you first sign up for a contract, do you know where it shows you're gonna make 2 BTC roughly? Did you make that much? Right when you select the miner and the contract length. Okay, so let's see here. I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. So cloud mining, take a look at this one that was 0.19 terahashes. I earned 33,050. I don't know that that's going to work the way I hope, because that contract was pretty old. Wow, they changed this whole screen since I did a video on it like 2 days ago. So that was 0.19 of a terahash. So if I do $200, okay, let's do 300. Okay, 250, 270, 90. Didn't I just do 300? Why is 300? Oh, you must get a bonus. Okay, so let's just say $300. And just go next here. So that's a good question. You know, so hello? It's not letting me go next. Why is it not letting me go to the next page? I don't know if it doesn't like this $300 value I put in. We'll leave $450 for now. I do not know why it's not letting me go to the next page. Let's just do this, because I believe they've got a calculator up here. Maybe their new button is not working. Because this whole interface is designed differently. But Mike, let me do some research on that, and I'll get back with you, because I think I understand what you're asking now is the roughly estimated earnings. Does that include what you're going to be getting? And I'm not sure. That my answer at the moment is I'm not sure on that front, just because, like I said, it does subtract it out every day. I can do a little bit more research once this, I don't know why they changed it, but I guess it's good they're updating the site. But anyways, hopefully the showing the transactions section helped clear up a little bit of how they split it out. But I do know they offer the information around how much it's going to cost per day, per terahash when you go to checkout, so that may help as well. I would always assume worst case scenario, subtract that from the estimated amount you'd earn, and then if you're, if that was already factored in and you expect to be getting less and you end up with more, then it's great. But okay, yeah, I said sounds great. Yeah, so I'll have to do an updated video on ECOS. Like I said, I've been doing, a lot of sharing for ECOS because I think they are a really good company. Like I said in the videos, I know Low Roller Mike, you've been around for a while, so you've probably heard me say, sites like this, they're very simple. They're not flashy. They're not trying to, make it seem like they're legitimate. It gets the job done. And I think that's what we're facing right now, is it's not super clear on how the fees work. It says there are fees, but, like you said, Mike, is it included in that estimate? Is it not included in that estimate? Certain things like that, it is a drawback for more basic websites, but for me, personally, I can say, the important part has worked. I've gotten the withdrawals every time. So that's my personal thought on it. But Low Roller, you said people buy ETC because it's cheaper than Ethereum, and ETC is the original of the Ether chain. Yeah, I like I said, I think ETC's got a lot of potential in it. We'll just have to see where it goes. But and Low Roller, you said in the alt season, people will buy any coin without looking the website. People only care if the coin's going up, since every coin is going up. That's a very good point, and I think a great way to just avoid losing money is doing that little bit of extra research. Look at the site. See if the team is active. If there's a Discord, maybe join it. Read some of the messages. What's been going on? Are there actual plans to improve the coin and make it usable? Things like that could really save you from getting scammed or losing money in a site or coin or whatever. By just doing 5-10 minutes of extra research. So... But awesome. Well, I think I'm going to get ready to wrap up the stream here. So hopefully everybody who's still here, looks like we've got about 4 people. So thank you so much for joining. We had a very successful stream in the beginning with 6 viewers. Doesn't sound like much, but for here on the on Bitcoin Tips, I think 6 viewers for the first little bit is actually pretty good. So I will hopefully be doing a stream, once a week like this, like I said, just depending on what's going on, but, hopefully we can continue to build the channel up and get some more viewers in here. I've been doing a lot more of the YouTube Shorts, trying to figure out what's, good in the YouTube short area to get some new viewers in. So far, GPU mining seems to be the area, but, we'll keep testing different topics here as well. Low Roller probably sometime next week. Like I said, I will try and definitely schedule it like I did today, at least, an hour or so before. But it'll probably be around the same time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday-ish. Like I said, maybe I can try and get a little bit more set and have schedule for a stream every week, but we'll see. But yeah, expect one next week sometime. I will try and keep everybody updated here on the channel as well. But thank you so much for joining in the stream today. I do appreciate it. And of course, if there's anything that comes up after the fact, feel free to leave a comment. I do try and read those. But thanks so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.